No bullshit.
So, everybody, this is going to be the first guest on the Bad Torro podcast ever, Maor Benaim.
Woo! I see the crowd is going, yeah.
Yeah, crowd is fucking going ecstatic.
This
bro.
is the episode when they filmed the TV Netflix limited series about you and how you went to jail and everything. This is gonna be something they're probably gonna take this cut and just paste it in
God,
5
bro.
years.
Okay. We're starting great, by the way. We're starting great. Okay, so Maor, cut the bullshit for a minute and let's get through the questions. And I'll promise you have your time to bullshit afterwards. All right, so let's have you do like a short introduction of who you are, what you do, and what you're into, with no kinky stuff, just like we're talking business here, right?
Just imagine it's gonna be one of those spiritual podcasts when someone says, "Hello, my name is Maor and I'm a human." You know, those guys say that a human being.
I'm woke. I'm a woken human being.
I'm woke.
Woke.
My name is Maor. I live in Tel Aviv. 33. I can't believe the people. My parents went through 33 and a half years. You're going to almost close 1 year of this magnificent creation. I think I'm a living proof that God exists, probably, in some way.
Yeah, in your shape or form, somehow. You know, you are the god of media buyers, or at least that's what they call you. They pray to you whenever their campaigns are not going well.
Buyer. I started off being a media buyer, opened up an agency, started running stuff as an affiliate. And right now, my main focus would be impacting as much people as possible. I've always been such a renegade, so it's every time you can impact people without charging money. It's just like I've seen a couple of years ago this influx with the guru kind of like industry, people who show up and they wanna contribute, and you have a course and you have another YouTube page and channel and stuff like that. So I just wanted to give out the knowledge that I could give out for free. So I started going on these stages on Geek Out and some stages in Israel and affiliate world. Now I'm writing my own book, which I really hope is gonna come out this year. I'm working extremely hard on that. I had a couple of weeks now that we've been in Barcelona and Ibiza. It's been very hard to think of getting, the muse and really get on my ass. And
am I gonna be in the book?
Yes, actually you are. Believe it or not.
Is it gonna be like something like 50 Shades of Maor?
It's gonna be like a story on what you don't want to be or become.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got plenty of those. All right. Okay. So sorry for interrupting you there, but like the book sounded really interesting. I needed to cut into that.
So actually the book started, I think I started it back in May. So it's been 2-3 months that I've been writing it, maybe April. It started off as being, I think this is the first time I talk about the book. So it started off as being how to negotiate a deal in the affiliate marketing space. And then it turned into a much wider kind of subject. It's a playbook on the digital marketing industry and even a bit of like entrepreneurship and personal development. So it goes into how to choose friends, partners, how to get everything that you can from a conference, how to choose the right conference for you, stuff like that. And it goes deeper. So it's very interesting, and it touches all of the different types of audiences inside the industry. Like the Amazon people are very different than the affiliates. The agency guys are very different, than the crypto Israeli guys, black hat, white hat. It touches everything. So it's going to be a very interesting book. And yeah.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. I'm really looking forward to reading it someday. And like talking about books, like what would you say was the book that impacted you the most, from the books that you've read, in terms of like, like self-development books and books connected to business and, development of entrepreneurship and all that. What was the book that you would say it was your number one?
I don't want to be so cliche, but I would say it's gonna be Rich Dad Poor Dad probably. This would
Fuck, that's
be
mine too, bro. That's mine too. It's
yeah.
yeah, I mean
Fuck.
it's like I
Yeah,
think
I
that's the
related to
Bible. That's
that.
the Bible for a lot of us, you know. It's like
Actually, there is a bigger Bible. There are two bigger Bibles. One would be how to make friends and influence people, or influence people and make friends, something like that. But I think it's Dale or Daniel Carnegie. I can't remember the. It's a big book. I should remember the name of the book.
right.
And the other one I can't fucking remember, to be honest. I can't remember I think it's something like how to fuck, I can't remember. But these two are very old books that have been translated into so many languages and stuff. And I feel like they're really the base of it's personal development first. I think that when you get, and this happens to a lot of people who go on a PUA, which is pickup artist course, you go on a pickup artist course, you think that you're gonna learn how to, get girls or open up, sets and attract women. And then you understand that it's all about relationships, it's all about communication with other people. And I think this is why entrepreneurship goes hand in hand with personal development. And by the way, the biggest community of people who are into personal development, books about personal development, retreats, seminars, Tony Robbins, all of that stuff is inside the industry. This is the biggest place where I saw, the biggest concentration of people who are into that, and it's amazing. I talk to guys who are 21-year-old guys that are our age. I see it. By the way, I gotta ask you, after Barcelona, I felt like there is like maybe I'm just like thinking out loud. Okay, so if I'm talking
Go
complete
for it, man.
garbage, okay. So I feel like I used to be the kid in the industry. I used to be, the youngest one. I don't know if everyone else or you have the same feeling, not about this industry specifically, but in life when there is a point in time where it pivots, like you stop being that kid and you start being the OG. So you have, the Jason Akatives, which is like, the
The
real
OGs, the
OGs,
OGs, the
yeah, with the
Godfather.
beard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
they're the
yeah, yeah.
ones you go, they're like up in the mountain, they've lived like 1,000, 2,000 years. This is like, the tribal
You go
council.
to them for wisdom.
Yeah, you go to them for wisdom. And then I feel like we've became, the Van Oaks, tier, which is me, you, and stuff. And then you have, the 21, 23-year olds, which is like, what the fuck where did you come from,
Exactly. You're talking about Reynos now, right? I mean, you used to be a Padawan, and now you got a Padawan of your own that you take around Ibiza and get drunk with him and all that and show him the ropes.
Mhm.
I get what you're saying, man. Dude, for me, I'm 42 years old. Like, I used to be the kid so long ago that I no longer remember that fucking time. But I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. All right. So now that we've sort of introduced you, now that people know who you are and what you do, could you do a very short definition of a media buyer? Because like up to maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, I didn't have a very clear definition in my head exactly what that meant. So I think it would be useful for people who are not into the e-com space and into media buying and affiliate stuff to understand what an actual media buyer is.
Well, a media buyer is anyone that buys media. No, I'm joking, but
Okay,
just
that was really
imagine
good, by
that
the way.
would be
Thank you.
it.
Yeah,
Thank you guys
you
for
just
joining,
nailed
guys.
it. That was like
I
so
just
good.
nailed it.
Absolutely.
No, so seriously, a media buyer, the industry, the digital marketing industry is so new that even the definitions, the positions inside companies, and the definitions of the job title and descriptions, they change every couple of months, to be completely honest. Some would say that a media buyer's job would be getting on a platform, an ad platform like Facebook, Google, get the right ad copy from the copywriter, get the right design or video, and make sure that he buys just ad placements at the right time to the right audience in order to generate either branding, which is impressions, likes, video views, or just if we're talking about performance marketing, that would be usually purchases or leads or stuff like that. And at the end of the day, with performance marketing, generate more revenue towards, you know, the brand or the product or service that he pushed. That would be the most basic definition of a media buyer. I feel like media buyer for me, my specific definition is someone who's what I call a full stack media buyer. So just like there is a full stack media buyer inside, you know, the programming and coding world, and that's kind of like a media buyer that a coder that knows how to write code on the front and back end. I feel like media buying moves towards that. So it's not just about knowing how the ad platforms work throughout, you know, everything from natives to Facebook to Google to even buying ads on Spotify, you know, and wherever you can. It's also about really getting into the small, you know, details inside, how to manipulate, how the system reacts when you do that or when you do another thing. That's a big thing when buying media. And if you want to expand the definition of a full stack media buyer, that would be also someone who has at least I feel like a media buyer nowadays, in order to be a very good media buyer, needs to be a jack of all trades. So you don't have to be the best video editor or the best at Photoshop or the best, you know, at API integrations, but you need to have a certain level of knowledge in order to at least communicate and know the terminology when you speak to your colleagues or teammates. That's the basic stuff when you open up. You know, I'm not the best at Amazon, but I know what Amazon FBA means. I know how the ad platform works. I bought and buy media right now on Amazon. So you need to kind of like understand how that works.
Anyway, I was gonna say, like, how would a guy like me who owns an e-com brand benefit from running his brand through you? This is the main thing, because like it's all sounding very complex whenever it comes out of you. But like if I'm selling, for instance, my Nano Shield car protection product, how would it benefit me through run it through you rather than me trying to run it like do my own like Facebook ads or my own TikTok or some stuff like that?
It's not going to benefit you,
It's
to
not.
be honest, because of a few things. And that might surprise most of, I feel like 99% of the people that you're going to ask are going to say that they're the best at media buying or that they are different. And yes, there is a different strategy and there is a different, you know, way of working with everyone. At the end of the day, I feel like if the question is, how do I choose a media buyer, you know? So the first question is, are you the best at media buying that you know? And if not, then why not let someone else do it for you? You know, just like you don't maybe wash your clothes or wash your house, or you go to a therapist, just like a service. Second, it's about communication. So if you have someone who really understands media buying, you really trust him. He understands your product. He understands business in general. You know, like for example, he understands how shipping, refunds, credit card processing, stuff like that works. Then that's someone you want as a partner, not necessarily maybe as an equity partner, but you want him to take care of your stuff.
Right.
A good media buyer at the end of the day is someone who understands the business part, understands the product and the audience, the target audience, understands when, you know, to push and when not to, but also when the interests are aligned. So lots of times brand owners and product owners would take on an agency or a media buyer, and then they would incentivize them. Like the business structure would be, you get a percentage of the ad spend. And that by definition is not aligning the interest that you have with the interest that they have, because their interest becomes, I want to spend as much as possible, and your interest becomes, I want to make as much profit as possible. So I feel like if you have someone who is experienced, at the end of the day, you know, if I want to get a product on Amazon, you and me can both do it. For me, probably it's gonna take much more time. I'm gonna make much more mistakes that are gonna cost me much more money. If you feel confident in your media buying, buy it internally. If you don't, get a media buyer that understands everything that I just said.
I got you. Okay. I think that makes it a lot more relatable to what a media bar does. So I got a few other questions for you here. What was your biggest business fuck up? This is what I always want to know because I've had so much fucking fuck ups in my life that, you know, for me, it's always good to hear that everybody else makes mistakes. And I want to hear, you know, I want to hear a story from everybody that sort of makes me feel a little better about myself. So what's your biggest fuck up?
So first of all, I love the question because I feel like 95% of podcasts would talk about how much money you've made, a case study
fuck
about
that
that.
shit, man. We're not talking about that. We want to talk about fuck ups. Come on.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could tell you about this and that fuck up when I lost, you know, a few tens or a few hundred of thousands, and I even have like very good stories. But and you know what? I am gonna tell you a story, but and it's not even a fuck up because what could I've done differently, but I feel like it comes to a much wider conclusion at the end of the day. So my biggest fuck up happened not too long ago when I worked with someone, convinced him on opening up another Facebook ad account, and he was afraid of, you know, circumventing the system. So we decided it's gonna be completely separate. Did I tell you that? I don't know if I did.
I don't think you have, man. I don't think you have.
Anyways, I decided, like, we decided that I'm gonna put on my credit card and he's going to reimburse me at the end of the month. So I do.
Oh, that's already sounding really good and promising.
I've been doing it for a long time because the people who I trust, you know, and work with, that's. And by the way, you do it as an affiliate all
the
day.
time,
so
right?
Yeah, you do that. So you have to trust the person that you work with. It doesn't have to do with the contract and everything. Anyways, the guy was 60 years old, and we spent close to $490,000. So my commission was supposed to be on top of that. And the guy drove his car on the 28th of June and he got cardiac arrest.
Oh my God.
He doesn't have any family. He's not married. That happened 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm not talking about something that happened.
Oh fuck.
So
this is like
numbers, yeah, so he doesn't have any will. He's not married, doesn't have any kids. So it's gonna be, yeah, and this was a personal debt. It wasn't even on the company. So, and we don't have a contract. So that would be in terms of numbers, you know.
This is such, by the way, this is such a good lesson, because I also do a lot of emotional shit, and I also sort of trust people a lot.
I don't feel like that's a lesson. I don't think.
No. It's a lesson because sometimes you need to ask yourselves, what if that guy's not there tomorrow? Like, what happens to what we're doing? Because stuff like that happens all the time, man. And
I don't think that
it's good to have. No, but okay. So how do you get out of a situation like that? You are now like $500,000 down.
First of all, I made enough money with the guy to cover it, to break even.
That's good for the given the current situation. But it could have been a different story. This could have been like something that didn't happen, and you could have just been down all that money.
But you can't leave out of, you know, thinking what could have been. Like, for example, I could tell myself, why waste time on doing this podcast? You might be dead tomorrow. People die all the time. You can drive and do a car accident. Stuff happened all the time. If we go on a pessimistic way of thinking, you know, and I'm like 3 weeks into this, and this happened. I partied in Ibiza. I didn't get depressed. I feel like most people that we would think about.
This is so recent. This actually happened
3 weeks ago. He died on the 28th of June.
Oh my God, it's such
a
bad 2 days story.
Before
it's terrible for the guy, but there must be some sort of lesson in this story, man. Like, if this happens to you and that's your last money, that can drag you down with everything.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's
So
like,
the lesson, this is exactly what I wanted to say. The lesson would be not, and this is something I learned over and over and over again in my life, but it happened, in different parts of my life with different business decisions, with different people and stuff like that. So it's not putting all your eggs in one basket, happened to me a lot of times. The first time I think it happened to me was when I tried opening up a big advertising agency. So I aligned myself with a big advertising company that wasn't doing any digital marketing. I did not take care of my own personal agency. I let customers and clients drop back then. It happened, I don't know, a lot of time ago. And one day I found out that the guy just decided to cut me off the agency, and I was left without this or that. So that was the first time. And the second time is that I really bet on a partner that I knew ahead of time that he's not the smartest and also not the stablest partner. And I already got a preview of that instability. And in spite of that, in the second round of our relationship, I decided to go all in with him. And I didn't, let go when I saw it wasn't working. So the conclusion for me at the end of the day, this is my own personal thing, because this is something that I was doing over and over again, and I'm working hard on myself throughout the last 2 years, was not to campaign. I used to campaign to convince people. You can't convince anyone to do something that they're not able, want to do. At the end of the day, you have your goals. Take whatever you want, take whomever you want, whoever, and do whatever you think that really progresses you into that specific goal. Because at the end of the day, if someone is not smart, you cannot make him smart. I would go into explaining and convincing people. At the end of the day, if a person wants to go on a boat and then go on another trip and then go and fly out, and then the person doesn't understand why he's not making money, you can't convince him, if a person decides to work for someone and he hates his job and he's not making enough money, and you tell him, listen, dude, the rules of the game is that usually, unless you're a CEO of a major corporation, you cannot generate a lot of money and gain financial independence by working for someone else and achieving someone else's dreams. You cannot do it. This is the rules of the game. You try to explain that person once or twice. At the end of the day, some people just want to be listened to. You can't, at the end of the day, when you try to convince, that other person is either going to hate you for doing that, because he's going to feel like you really criticize him, or is going to be convinced of something he doesn't really believe in. So he's going to try whatever you did, and at the very first second something is going to break or not go towards the way that you believe or expected to go, is going to say, you know what, fuck this, I knew that this isn't going to work. And
I knew that Maor was trying to fuck me with this shit.
Yes.
All right, but listen. I've been into a very, I've been into similar situations like the ones that you've been describing. And I think that the morals of this fucking story should be put stuff on paper, because I know that the paper doesn't mean anything and any contract is useless unless the two people want to work together. But in some situations, putting things on paper helps a lot, and I've been lacking to do that. I've got a lot of stories like that.
Let's say I had a paper with the guy. Who do I go to?
Hey, he's got a company, hasn't he? Like,
so what? This was a personal loan, not a loan, a personal commitment.
Listen, if it was a personal commitment is one thing, but we were talking about business here, and usually it would be a business situation, something like this would usually, I don't know what
it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because I believe that if you want to get things in order, you should have a paper. But you know how it is in real life. At the end of the day, if someone wants to fuck you up, someone wants to fuck you up.
But
And
sometimes things like this happen, which the other person doesn't want to fuck you up, but just shit happens,
yeah,
and it's always good to have some sort of.
and it's not even sometimes, every time I try and open up something, if I could create a list of things that could get fucked up, everything happens, it's just a matter of time. Like, and right now, and I feel like this is why I feel like in top shape in terms of entrepreneurship. If something bad happens to me, I bounce back so fucking fast, you have no idea. Like, for
That's
example,
the main thing,
uh,
bro. That's the main thing.
1 or 2 days before Barcelona, this thing happened, another big project crashed. And, when I was in Barcelona, um, the day that my friend Dotan, whom you met in
Yeah,
Kiev, he was supposed to join us. He was supposed to be in Affiliate World. He was supposed to come with me to Ibiza,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he
yeah. You
sent me
told
he
me.
sent me
Yeah,
a picture, of
crazy.
a COVID test with like the positive, two
Yeah.
lines. And I was like, "Fuck, dude, that sucks for you, but it sucks more for me because I'm supposed to now go to Ibiza, and this is all planned, with us being together." So yeah.
Right. All right, and let's just this was very gloomy with this guy dying while owing you money, bro. So like this was a very downer story. So let's end them on a positive note by you telling us what happened the worst time you got drunk. I need one of those stories, man. I mean, you should have one of those. And I've never asked you this, by the way. And I've told you one of mine or two of mine. I've got a whole bunch of those.
You don't even need to tell me. I've been to a couple.
That's true. That's true. That's true. You've been
I've been
through a
to a
few of
couple
those,
of times where you got too
and
drunk, which happens every other
those have
time.
not even been the worst. Trust me. Like you haven't seen the worst of me yet. Trust me.
What
There's a
happens when
lot.
the worst comes?
Oh my God, there's a lot more to come. But I'll be telling my stories here. But tell me yours. What's your worst drunken story,
I'm
bro?
gonna disappoint you deeply. I don't get super drunk.
Oh shit. Here we
I
go. I
swear to God. I have,
How are
first
we
of all, I
even
have
friends,
this
bro? How
weird.
are we even friends?
So first of all, I feel like I have a very good control over my alcohol. Like I really recognize when I'm getting too drunk, and I know how to stop it, which is something that you should
Man, I
probably
wish I
learn.
wish I had that.
Yeah. And the second thing, which is weird, and if someone who listens to that podcast has a solution for me, or knows why this happens, I don't know how many years ago, but I started developing this weird problem where the first night I would drink after not drinking for a while, I would get extremely drunk. And then the day after, it takes me like 9 times more alcohol to reach 50% of the drunkenness level that I was, which is very hard because I need to choose, which day. And I don't need a lot of alcohol on the first day, but on the second or third day, it sucks because, I would be in this conference, we would go to a club, and everyone would get drunk and I wouldn't be able to. I'm like, doesn't matter how much I drink, which sucks.
Shit, man, I expected something more from you. I expected like you waking up in your
In
neighbor's
a
fucking
ditch.
yeah, in your neighbor's bed or something like that,
No.
or shit. I mean,
Well,
now you make me feel even worse for fucking telling my stories, bro. Wait until you hear. Like one morning, I woke up next to my grandma, man, and I wasn't even living in that house for like 3 years. Yeah, I used to live in the same house as my grandma, and for 3 years I was out of this house. And one morning, I just opened my eyes like this, and I looked next to me, and I see my grandma looking down at me, and she was like,
and you don't
like,
remember how you got there.
oh man, I made a few phone calls that I sort of tied up the story till the end, but why I got there in the first place is still a mystery.
This
But
why question, I gotta say, out of the people I know, first of all, I gotta say something. This is crazy. We've known each other for almost a year. I think next month we the number of
are we gonna celebrate?
experiences. Yes, first of all, I think that we should celebrate. And second, I feel like, the amount of fucking stories, funny stories
Oh
usually,
man.
and experiences and places around the world which I've been with you, fucking crazy. And also, just thinking of Cabo with John and everyone, that was a fucking crazy ass experience. And I'm trying to remember like when was the drunkest that I've seen you, but there's, you know what was funny, when I was in Sofia a couple of months ago and we were at this club and we thought that the guys that were supposed to come with us ditched us, and you were sitting there starting to drink by yourself, and the party, everyone there was like half your age.
Well,
It
they
was
were
a
half
techno
your age,
party.
bro. Like they were half your age. Those guys at that party.
And you looked like you owned the
I looked
club.
like, dude. I looked like I just came out of prison. I felt like Bullet, like Mickey Rourke in that Bullet movie. You know, like I felt as though I just came out of prison and I'm going to my old hangouts.
Yeah.
And the whole crowd has changed with 15, 16-year-olds. And I'm like the 40-year-old that just got out for murder. And I'm just looking at the kids of my friends, you know. It was
Yeah.
crazy experience. But hey, we made that night work, by the way. It worked out pretty nice.
Somehow we made that night work pretty good for us. Yeah, definitely.
All right, man. Well, fuck. I was expecting something more of a drinking story from you. I should do my homework, and I should be asking. I should be asking. I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure that Jason Akativ and John and Van are gonna have way better fucking stories than me in that direction, bro. Fuck me, like you didn't even have one.
Listen, this is why you made me.
You almost made me tell my grandma's story. You almost made me tell my grandma. Listen, you almost made me tell my grandma's story and spoil it for everybody. You know, but guys, this is still to come. It's gonna be a good story. Trust me. The grandma part is just like the highlight.
This is why you have some geek friends that your wife likes when you have around, and this is why you have some crazy ass friends that get extremely drunk. You need the balance in life.
That is true. All right, man. Well, thank you for being my first guest. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon and doing more crazy shit. And I hope that your crazy story, whatever somebody asks you a year from now, is going to start with, so me and Torro went out this one night, and wait until you hear what fucking happened. So I'm sure if it's still not here, this story is coming. But you motherfucker managed to disappear every time with your Irish goodbyes. Once you see shit hitting the fan, it's like you're like fucking Kaiser Soze.
Dude, this has to be the signature Irish goodbye. It has to be it. I don't know why I do it, but I like it. So it became my thing. So I
hate it. I fucking hate it, bro.
You don't hate it.
I hate it.
Oh, I think in Barcelona, we came back on the same taxi. This was the first and probably the last time.
That's right, by the way.
You took me on a ride all over Barcelona. This is why I do Irish goodbyes. This is the answer. When you go out of a club with a fucking drunk guy or guys, they want to go eat somewhere and no place is good. And then you get into an argument that the taxi driver takes advantage of that situation. So you go around Barcelona and you spend like 300 euros on a taxi ride that you didn't want to do, and then you wake up after 2 hours of sleep because you are driving around Barcelona drunk. This is why you
man, whatever, man. It was a good night. I'm gonna start looking out for you, and I'm gonna hold you. Once I start getting drunk, you're not gonna be able to disappear anymore, man. I promise you that.
I'm so lucky that you get way more drunk than me. So it doesn't really matter. You're not going to be able to do it. This whole method is based on you getting drunk. So you don't even fucking care what happened.
Bullshit, man. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was Maor Benaim from Israel, one of my top friends from the conferences that we've went to, and in like everyday life, we speak at least like 7 times a week now, mornings and evenings. And that's it. I'm looking forward to presenting more people like him to you, and so you can find out more. So say goodbye to the good folks that are watching us, which is my 2 friends and my aunt and my grandma. And that will be it for the first episode.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, Maor. You're such a sweet kid.